others. I believe these are names that come into the household simply because in Cameroon, they look at Zach Oji as a Cameroonian. In fact, I even hear he studied in Cameroon.
Really?
Okay. They look at Patience Ozuko as a household name in Cameroon. All right. This is simply because we share, like you said, so many things in common.
The Southwest Cameroonians are discriminated in Cameroon. Is it true?
I come from that part of Cameroon. I'm technical advisor number 1 at the Cameroon Radio Television. I've worked there for near 30 years. There are many other of my compatriots who are like me. So I don't think that my Southwestness has stopped me from achieving what I had to achieve in life, or from getting to the point where I had to get to in life. I believe in destiny. And I don't think that the fact that you come from the southwest region of Cameroon or from the northwest region of Cameroon stops you from progressing or from making the life that you want to make. Okay. I own a home. And I own a home not in my southwest of my birth. I own a home in Yaoundé, which is in, if you like, the French-speaking part of Cameroon. Okay. So what would you say? I have to carry my house from Yaoundé to the southwest region because we're discriminated upon? I don't think so. If we were discriminated upon, then I don't think that I'd have been able to buy land from the indigenous population of Yaoundé that is purely francophone. They would never have sold land to me, the English-speaking Cameroonian. Okay. So it's just to tell you that we are one country, even if language has made us a little different. Okay. But I also think that the fact that we speak 2 different languages should be the source of our wealth. And well, Cameroon is using
finally,
that.
back to the crux of the program, because we need to connect to disconnect and disconnect to connect. Mm-hmm. Exploring media relations between Nigeria and Cameroon, and you're here, and I want to look at what's your projection like in the next 2 years if this eventually takes off?
If the event eventually takes off, in the next 2 years, we will not get the ECOWAS summit in Abuja come to Cameroon like a surprise, because we would have had a focal point from NTA that feeds us with that kind of information as it comes in. We will not get perishable news because we are not in touch with Nigeria. Just like Nigerians will not get perishable news from Cameroon because they are not in touch. So this is what we want to see. We want to make sure that instantaneously we get news feeds from Nigeria flow into our newscasts, just like we want fresh news from Cameroon flow into the Nigerian newscasts. So that at every given time, and on a daily basis if possible, Nigerians get the heartbeat of Cameroon through the news, just like we get the heartbeat of Nigeria through the news feeds that you send to us. And, of course, we want to see stock programs in our library come from Nigeria. Because, like I say, we believe that much of your documentaries, much of your drama is appreciated around the world. And we of Cameroon, who are so close to Nigeria, should, like I say, enjoy the luxury of proximity.
Mr. Robert Ekukole, it was nice talking with you on Diplomatic Ties.
It's a pleasure for me, and I hope
we hope truly that the vision you have, which is on a mission, will really come to pass.
It's our wish.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
That's it on the program. My guest, Mr. Robert Ekukole, technical advisor, Cameroon Radio TV, has really updated us on plans to really ensure that there's a seamless content flow between Cameroon and Nigeria in a matter of maybe months or years, depending on how the flow goes. Well, that's that on Diplomatic Ties today, and always be guest on the program. Bye-bye.
NTAI has gone mobile. Catch your favorite programs anywhere in the world by going to Play Store on Android and App Store on iOS. Search for Vision TV UK, download and install.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA.
A very good evening and thank you for joining us on the news on NTA International. I am Ifoma Ojinta. But first, the highlights. President Muhammadu Buhari advocates collaboration between legislative and judicial arms of government to evolve special courts to handle corruption cases. A bill to reform National Broadcasting Commission underway. National Assembly passes resolution to investigate crashes of non-combatant helicopter and aircraft belonging to Nigerian Air Force. And now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong case for the nation's legislative and judicial arms of government to fully support the creation of special crimes courts to specifically handle corruption cases in the greater interest of the country, declaring open a national summit on diminishing corruption in the public service. The president insists that time has come for Nigeria to reclaim her traditional values of honesty, integrity, and hard work towards achieving sustainable future. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The event was the public presentation of the report on the constituency projects tracking exercise by the ICPC, which corroborated the widely held belief that such projects are conduit for corruption. President Muhammadu Buhari noted with concern that in the past 10 years, 1 trillion naira has been appropriated for constituency projects, but the impact of such huge spending on the lives of Nigerians can hardly be seen.
The ICPC has my full support and support of this government to hold fully to account contractors, complicit public servants, and project sponsors who divert funds meant for constituencies or other people-oriented welfare projects of our government, or who by other means reduce the quality and value of such public projects.
He described as delightful that through the effort of the ICPC, some contractors are returning to site to execute projects hitherto abundant, saying, however, that the war against corruption cannot be won without prevention and enforcement.
This administration will continue to support anti-corruption agencies to recover all ill-gotten wealth and prosecute offenders. We will ensure that all fully recovered physical assets are sold and the proceeds remitted to the Treasury. President
Buhari explained that his administration is working hard towards bringing corruption to an end as existential threat to Nigeria, but this, he said, can only be achieved through effective collaboration and cooperation of all arms and tiers of government.
I therefore urge the legislature to fast-track the passage of the Special Crimes Court Bill to handle corruption cases. Passage of this bill is a specific priority of this administration's economic recovery and growth plan.
Messages of goodwill from the legislature and the judiciary indicate genuine support for a corrupt-free Nigeria.
The judiciary, under my watch, will never condone any act of malfeasance among judicial officers. I will do everything possible to stamp out every.
Chairman Professor Bolaji Owasonoye had earlier made some shocking revelations from the agency's enforcement and corruption prevention actions in the public service.
ICPC will take enforcement actions, including recovery of diverted funds, name and shame, and prosecution of the most serious cases of infraction, while putting some MDAs on a watch list due to their vulnerability or the propensity to corruption. We recommend, sir, that diversion or non-payment or remittance of tax, of pension, health insurance, or any other statutory deduction should attract dismissal of the head of the agency and immediate prosecution.
During the event, two distinguished Nigerians, ACG Bashir Abubakar of the Nigeria Customs Service and Josephine Ugu of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, were presented the 2019 Public Service Integrity Award. Both were at several times tempted to be corrupt and compromise integrity, but rose above the greed and lure to become examples of integrity.
Your most honored servant reminds you of your promises. Promises? Yes, Your Excellency. Election promises? Yes, Your Excellency. Who remembers them?
From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has flagged off Clean Nigeria, Use the Toilet, a national campaign to end open defecation in Nigeria by 2025. At the event in Abuja, the Vice President reiterated the resolve that further federal government support to state governments in this sector will be based on their commitment to implement the National Wash Action Plan in their respective states. Musbaud and Wahab reports that the campaign is a component of the Wash Action Plan.
Everyone, I beg you all, Ejo, Dan Allah, Biko, build toilets to keep Nigeria clean.
It is a national call to avoid an international embarrassment of being ranked first in open defecation practice in the world. Leveraging on the World Toilet Day, the call becomes louder as the federal government takes the lead to demonstrate the need to stop the 47 million people still in the practice of defiling the environment.
We unveil the logo of the Clean Nigeria End Open Defecation campaign.
About 58% of the country are said to be lacking access to basic sanitation, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said Nigeria cannot afford the huge cost, including fatalities, caused by preventable water and sanitation-related diseases. Professor Osinbajo said states and FCT administrations should adopt what he described as a common-sense measure of ensuring availability of sanitation facilities in public places, including schools, markets, worship centers, and construction sites.
Although we know that it is the primary responsibility of state governments to provide water, sanitation, and hygiene services, but the federal government remains committed to supporting the states. Every state initiative will receive as much federal government support as is possible so that we can provide all of these services to the Nigerian people.
In view of the sad reality of Nigeria becoming the next global leader in open defecation once India exits the group, we know that it cannot be business as usual in tackling the challenge of open defecation in the country.
With the major work said to be at the grassroots level, state governors present signed commitment to end the menace by 2025.
We will do our best to cooperate with you, to collaborate with you. I hope that as India has made, just as India has made progress, that over the next 5 years, Nigeria too will be able to eliminate open defecation.
As first ladies of our respective states, we will take this task up as our pet projects and lead in the drive to mobilize our people in this mass behavioral change campaign.
With only 14 local government areas now open defecation free, Nigeria has between now and 2025 to take the other 760 LGAs out of the practice, and ultimately the major target is the SDGs good sanitation.
Chizoma Obara, who will shed more light on Nigeria's fight on open defecation. Good to have you here, Mrs. Obara.
Thank you very much.
Now, let me start by asking you, what are the implications of open defecation?
Now, we are aware that it has a lot of implications. It's had a lot of economic implications. The health implication is there, and we also have education. We're aware that most of our children, especially the girl child, would not come to school because the facilities are not there. And then the health implications cholera outbreak, diarrhea, and the likes. And these impact seriously on the health of the child, especially the child under 5 die as a result of cholera and diarrhea diseases, which are as a result of open defecation that affects our water bodies.
Okay, now the Vice President, a few hours ago launched a campaign against outdoor defecation. What do you intend to achieve through this?
Well, on the 8th of May this year, an approval was given following the fact that 47 million Nigerians still defecate in the open. And Nigeria is about to be declared the first in the world with the largest population of people that defecate in the open. Consequent upon that, on the 8th of May, the Federal Executive Council gave approval to carry out this campaign. Now, we have a roadmap which was developed sometime in 2016, and shortly after that, it was not operationalized. So the need to operationalize that now means that we have to carry out a campaign. It's a transformational movement. It's a social movement. It's going to involve a lot of sensitization, a lot of advocacy, and to create awareness to stop open defecation.
Okay, now, very quickly, your advice to the people on ending outdoor defecation.
Fine. Now, we are saying that let us use toilets, let us build toilets, the rural population, the urban. Let's ensure that we make use of toilets. Let us build toilets and stop open defecation. And to that effect, a lot of public toilets will be provided to ensure that we have toilets to address these issues. So let us stop open defecation, clean Nigeria, use the toilets.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Chizoma Obara, Assistant Director, Water Quality and Sanitation, Federal Ministry of Water Resources. It's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, moving on, the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, has disclosed that a bill for the reform of the National Broadcasting Commission is on its way for Federal Executive Council consideration and further legislative action. The minister disclosed this while receiving the NBC Reform Implementation Committee's report in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The report, which is in 2 volumes, was handed over to the minister by Chairman of the committee, Professor Armstrong Idachaba. The minister expressed satisfaction with the committee's performance, saying with the recommendations contained in the committee's report, it will revolutionize the NBC in several ways, because for the commission to function optimally, there is the dire need to come up with regulations that will address existing challenges, which is to immediately come up with fresh regulations to promote and protect the local broadcast industry from monopolistic tendencies as it affects advertising tariffs and production of adverts in Nigeria, while the regulations will also ensure that all anti-competitive behaviors are eliminated and sanctions imposed where necessary. There is also the need to regulate content on internet and the web. For this to be realized, Lai Mohammed disclosed that the initiation of a bill to give legal backing to the implementation framework is underway.
Following the implementation framework presented to me today, I will immediately commence the process of forwarding an executive bill for consideration of the Federal Executive Council and further legislative action. The bill will address the existing lacuna in the areas of the regulation of the internet, the ongoing digital switchover, DSO, digital access fee, and the insulation of the regulator from partisan politics.
In line with the presidential directive on the NBC reform, Lai Mohammed maintained that the NBC will be equipped to be able to achieve its goals.
In this age of technology and the Internet of Things, a responsible and respectable broadcast industry regulator must be properly equipped. We shall therefore commence the process for the acquisition of modern broadcast equipment for the Commission for the purpose of monitoring and enforcement. Similarly, government shall commence the process of beefing up the material, training, and manpower needs of the Commission.
Chairman of the committee, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, who was full of praise for the honor to serve on the committee, told the minister that their assignment, though tasking, the encouragement the committee enjoyed from the minister was the secret of the success recorded.
It is therefore commendable that the Honourable Minister thought it wise to critically examine the challenge or challenges confronting the Commission in its quest to deliver on its mandate.
It will be recalled that the NBC Code, if amended, will review upward fines for breaches relating to hate speech, inciting comments and indecency from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira, while willful repeat of infractions on 3 occasions after levying will attract suspension of license. Breach of political comments relating to hate speeches and divisive comments will be upgraded to Class A offense in the Broadcasting Code. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture has postponed the 2019 Abuja Carnival. The ministry apologized to all invited guests for any inconvenience the postponement might have caused. A new date will be announced for the carnival in due course. You're watching the news on NTA International, reaching you from Abuja. Stay tuned for more after the break.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka, no panic.
There's me no panic.
You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK.
Press OK.
Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK.
Press OK.
Wow, now you sef fit catch all those channels wey be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your group for no loss. You see as I do am, abi?
And I see as I do am.
Go TV. Live it. Love it.
Thanks for staying tuned. President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Senate requesting the consideration and passage of 6 aviation sector reform bills. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unquo also reports that the legislators have passed through the second reading of the 3rd Public Procurement Act Amendment Bill.
Senate commenced first plenary of the week with the receipt of the transmission of 6 bills from President Muhammadu Buhari on the Nigerian aviation sector. President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan read the bills, which include Civil Aviation Bill, Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria Bill, and the Nigerian College of Airspace Management Establishment Bill.
While I trust that these bills will be expeditiously and favorably considered by the Senate, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration.
Senate has passed the second reading of the 3rd bill that seeks to amend the Public Procurement Act of 2007, which seeks to provide a specific time frame for procurement process proceedings. Senator Danladi Sankara is the sponsor of the bill.
You may wish to note that sometimes it takes up to 6 months to obtain the necessary clearance for projects implementation to commence.
The Senate has advised the Federal Ministry of Health to set up an efficient and proper mechanism for identifying and preventing what it described as proliferation of fake medical reports from public hospitals in Nigeria. This came in a motion moved by Senator Uche Kunife.
The major factor is this insatiable quest for money by these doctors.
Senator Chukwuka Otazi's motion called for a comprehensive review of Nigeria's power sector as Senate resolved to convene a roundtable on the challenges of Nigeria's power sector next month. The Senate has called on all Nigerians to rise up against open defecation as it joined other nations in commemorating 2019 World Toilet Day. Senate has sworn in Senator Ibrahim Abdullahi Dambaba of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), representing Sokoto South Senatorial District of Sokoto State. He replaces Shehu Tambuwal of the All Progressives Congress (APC), who was removed by the Court of Appeal. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has met with the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Kikuta Yutaka, where they both agreed to strengthen the 60-year-old bilateral relations between Nigeria and Japan, especially in the areas of technological transfer and commerce. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA.
And still from the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has passed a resolution to investigate non-combatant helicopter and aircraft crashes belonging to the Nigerian Air Force. The issue raised other matter of urgent importance at Tuesday's plenary. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The motion from Representative Kuye detailed the number of air crashes recorded by helicopters and other brands of aircrafts belonging to the Nigeria Air Force in non-combatant operations. Lawmakers resolved to find out the immediate and remote causes of these air accidents. Also to be investigated by the House are financial activities of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) for the past 3 years, following allegations of unapproved spending as moved by Representative Benjamin Kalu.
As of today, more than 13 months after the time required by law, the Commission is yet to submit an estimate of its expenditure and income for the year 2019, thereby grossly failing to comply with the above statutory provision.
An expenditure profile of just 1 year may not be able to unveil to us exactly what has happened in the agency.
The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, during plenary, brought to the notice of members 2 presidential communications seeking approval for passage of 6 aviation sector bills and the issuance of 10.06 billion naira promissory notes to Kogi state governments. At the Committee of the Whole, the House considered and adopted reports on 2 bills sponsored by the Speaker. These are a bill for an act to amend the Labour Act and a bill for an act to provide smooth, orderly transfer of power from one government to another.
Transition can be complicated. This bill seeks simply to make it seamless.
3 House members who recently won their cases at the Election Appeal Court, Obinna Chidoka and Samson Oku of the PDP and Chinedu Oga of APC, were sworn in. In the meantime, the minority caucus at the House of Representatives has expressed displeasure on the outcome of the Kogi and Bayelsa governorship elections.
We are 100% not in support of the outcome of the election.
The outcomes, says the caucus, would be challenged in courts. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The National Youth Service Corps has reacted to insinuations trending on the social media that the scheme is not doing enough on the issue of unqualified graduates from some foreign institutions, particularly neighboring countries. The Director General, NYSC, Brigadier General Shuaibu Ibrahim, reacted to this while fielding questions from correspondent Olayinka Ojo when he visited the NYSC FCT orientation camp in Kubwa, Abuja.
But based on 1 and 2, we made several arrests, and I'm happy to inform Nigerians that some have been prosecuted and jailed last week. And there were still more. For the 2019 batch C, over 20,000 foreign trained Nigerians uploaded online for mobilization. Through our measure of physical verification, only 3,420 showed up for verification to show that we are doing enough. That's because they couldn't show up, because if they come, just as I warned them earlier, in the interview I had in several forums.
The NYSC boss also lauded the cooperation of all stakeholders at the recently conducted Bayelsa and Kogi elections at ensuring the safety and security of corps members who worked during the elections. Now, Christmas, like any festive period in Nigeria, provides the opportunity for corporate organizations and philanthropists to reach out to loved ones, including customers who have identified with them within the year. It is in the spirit of this that the Zenith Bank PLC, few weeks to Christmas, lit up the entire length and breadth of Ajose Adogun Street in Victoria Island, Lagos State, with dazzling lights for the festive season.
Christmas festivity usually comes with elegance in terms of decoration of streets, halls and other public arena. This is what Zenith Bank is committed to doing annually. And this year, with Christmas approaching, at Jose Adeogun Street in Lagos, where the bank headquarters is radiating in colors with different shades of lighting, such as winged angels, blowing trumpets, of the bank relating with their host community, as echoed by the bank's manager.
Zenith Bank is a colorful bank. Zenith Bank has lights. They create light everywhere they go to. So this is our own contribution, the Zenith Bank Christmas Light Extravaganza for 2019. The colors are beautiful. The people are excited. This is introducing Christmas 2019 to Lagos, to Nigeria. It's all excitement.
We believe that the essence of this thing is to give people hope that there's something to live for.